Hello, everybody. I will start my today's another coding practice. So today's question is this: minimum cost to hire K workers. So in this question, there are n workers. You are given two integer arrays, quality and wage. And quality is the quality of the ICE worker, and wage I is the minimum wage expectation for the ICE worker. And in this question, we want to hire exactly K workers to form a paid group. To hire a group of K workers, we must pay them according to the following rules. Every worker in the paid group must be paid at least their minimum wage expectations. In the group, each worker's pay must be directly proportional to their quality. This means if a worker's quality is double that of another worker in the group, then they must be paid twice as much as other worker. I see. Given the integer k returns the least amount of money needed to form a paid group satisfying the above conditions. Answer within 10 to the power of minus 5 of the actual answer will be accepted. Okay, so in this question, I will be given the quality and wage of each worker. Then I will form k workers group. Then I have to set each worker's pay, wage, proportional to the quality. And what else do I have to? I see. So also I have to take care. Yeah, I understood. Okay. And I need to find the least amount of money needed to form a paid group. Okay. So for example, if there are there are two workers whose quality is 1 and 2, and wait a minute, expectation. At least the minimum wage expectation. I see. So their expectation is say 3 and 3. Then I have to set the pay, wage, as 3 and 6. So in this way, the wage for each worker is proportional to their quality, and also expected wage is satisfied. Okay, so that being said, let me, yeah, I think I've almost understood about the question statement, also about the input, and also I'm pretty sure of the you know output, what to be returned. And one more thing I want to take care is that the wage doesn't have to be integer. Yeah. So in the case of 2 and 3 like this should be like this, and I will return 7.5. So that's another thing I will take care. Okay. So that being said, let me think of the algorithm. So I think the brute force approach for this question is, so I will take a look at quality first, and then I will take a look at this worker. And I can say if this worker is given wage X, Then the total amount of the worker, total amount of the wage for every worker, all the workers, should be 5 out of 2. I mean, 2 plus 3 is 5. So 5 and 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. So I can say the total wage sum should be 2.5x. Oh, sorry. So that being said, I mean, I will make it in this way. So I will fix the wage for this worker, the first worker, to be 3. Minimum of expected wage. Then I will decide other workers like this. Yeah, in this case, this. Then I will confirm each wage exceeds the expected wage. Then all of them are true. That is the possible minimum wage. And I will take a look at um, other ones too. So I will fix second worker's wage with 3 and confirm and do that iteration. And finally, I will find the total sum, which is the minimum and valid. Then that will be the. So let me see. Yeah, I think it's one of the possible approach, and it will take O of n squared, assuming that the number of the workers is n. Okay, but in this question, oh, I think it's acceptable. So let me check it. Yeah. Okay, so I think that's one of the approach. I will think of another approach. So the other approach is that I will pick the quality and wage, and what should I do? So yeah, I think this brute force approach. I said this is brute force, but it's actually accepted because in this question the constraint is that n is up to 10 to the power of 4, so n squared solution would be accepted. So let me implement in this way. So as I said, firstly, for each worker, I will fix the salary with them. Other salary should be proportional from that. Or, worker X. For other worker, then I will check if it is more than expected wage. Then if this is not fall true, I will return. Then get the total amount. Then I will return the meaning of the total salary amount. So that's the thing. Okay, so let me work on the implementation with this. The first thing I would do is so n is the number of workers, and so let me say this person is X. Okay, so this is about the person X. And for other workers, I will take a look. So I will this oh sorry. Yeah. Let me rename this argument as expected wages to avoid the confusion. Okay. So in this way, for this person I will calculate the wage as wait a minute, x wage divided by this. Okay, so the wage of each person can be proportional to the x wage considering the qualities. Yeah, so this is good. This is the wage of each person, and also then I will confirm that this exceeds the expected wages of I. And in that case, this choice of X is invalid, so I will break. Yeah. And what I should do next is, oh, then here, otherwise this person is valid. I mean, the salary for person I is valid, so I will append the wage I to total amount. Okay. Then I get the total amount. So if I get the total amount, I'm pretty sure I can return it here. I need some proof, but my intuition is that if I find the person X, which meets this condition, that person would, yeah, I think it is the minimum cost. Otherwise, if the salary is lower than that for each worker, that person X, I mean, wage for that person X doesn't meet expectation. So I can say if I reach here, I mean, finishing the for loop, I can return total amount. That's that it. And also I can say I can always find the minimum cost because otherwise, think of the case I pay quite high salary, much larger than expectation for each worker proportionally. In that way, I can find the kind of wage amount which satisfies all the workers every time, definitely. So I can say in line 42, yeah, I will throw an error just for the notice. Okay, so let me work through my code. So firstly, n is the rank of the quality, and for in line 27, I choose each worker, specific worker X, and then I decide the wage of that person with expectation. And then I initiated the total amount variable. This is the variable of total amount of workers I will see in the next inner for loop. And in line 32, I will take a look at each worker aside from the person X. Then that person's wage should be proportional to the um that person the quality of this person. So let me do a little bit of um improvement for the readability. I would say I will define this wage quality, wage par quality. Yeah. So in that way, this line 36 should be like this. Sorry. Yeah, I think it's more readable. And also with this in line 28 and 29, I don't need this variable anymore. So I think this is easy to understand already. And I come back to line 34. Wage I is decided by this. And if it is less than the expectation of the person I, this choice for person X is not valid. So I will break. Otherwise, I will increment the wage total amount with I person's wage. Then after the iteration in line 39, I will return total amount. Yeah. Okay. I will submit my code. So this isn't correct. Oh, to hire group of cable. I see. I've totally misunderstood the question. So I can choose only two workers, and I have to choose only two workers if K is two. So that's my misunderstanding. Okay. So in this case, if K is two, yeah, I think, but probably the way I did works. So I will take a look at wage per quality for each person. Oh no, it doesn't have to. Oh wait, no, the quality doesn't matter when I choose workers. I see. So even if I choose, wait a minute. I see. Interesting. So, so expected wage quality K. So my task is to choose two workers. Deciding, yeah. Wait, but I'm still wondering if my solution works. I mean, this solution, which algorithm, which is similar to my first approach, may work. I will choose one person, then I will try to create. I mean, after choosing one person, I will calculate wage per quality. Then I will take a look at a few more persons, and I will get the k minus one users who have the minimum cost to hire. Then I guess the total salary amount of those k minus one workers plus one fixed worker. Yeah. And I will do that iteration for, no, yeah, yes, every worker maybe. Yeah. Let me implement in that way. So as I said, yeah. So then I will do the iteration for each worker. Then I guess the total amount. Let me fix each worker one by one. So maybe in my last approach, if I find the worker, then I can say that is the, sorry, if I can find the um you know salary which meets the expectation, all of them meet the expectation, I will return it. But in this solution, yeah, it's not necessarily true. Or maybe true, but let me think of it as the optimization. I think for first, I will pick every worker X, even if I can find the valid pay for that group with that fixed X. Okay, so in line 39, I pick one worker. Then what I should do is, so I try to guess the mini K, I mean, sorry, K minus one mini wages. So for that purpose, I can use the max heap of size K minus one. So every time I find the new wage, I push it into the K minus one max heap. Then if the size exceeds k minus y, k minus 1, which is equal to k, in that case, I will pop out one worker salary from that, which should be max salary. In that way, I can keep k minus 1 minimum salaries in the list. So let me implement it that way. Then after the iteration, it is guaranteed. No, it isn't guaranteed that I could pick up k minus 1 workers. So what I should do is yeah. Then, as I said, I'm not pretty sure if this is the minimum wage. So I will define this. Yeah, and I will guess the minimum of total wages for every pick of X. Then, just in case, if return is mass infinity, I will raise an error. Otherwise, I will return. Okay, so let me walk through my code again. So I made a change in line 44. So this wages will pick up the wages which is valid, and this should be heap of k. Yeah, size k minus 1. Oh, and one more thing is in Python, this heap q heap pop and heap q heap push treats the list, first argument list, as the mini heap. So what I have to do is instead of pushing wages, I will, push the negative wages. Sorry, as the second argument. Then in line 59, I will reduce. I mean, subtract the sum of wages because sum of wages is now negative. Okay, so that one fix. So that being said, let me go back to the code. In line 49, wage I is equal to I calculate this wage, and if that wage is not valid, so I will just ignore it. Yeah. Then in line 52, otherwise, I will push that wage into the max heap. Then in line 55, if the ranks of the wages is k minus 1 larger than k minus 1, I mean, if this exceeds the size of the limit, I will pop in line 56, I will pop it out. Sorry, I will pop the maximum. Then in line 58, oh, sorry, I will do it here. If I could pick the enough number of workers, I will calculate the total wages. Then I will update the return global mini cost with total wages, current total wages. Then in line 62, after the iteration, if I can't find the valid total sum, I will raise an error. But if I find it, I will return that in line 65. Okay, let me execute my code. Okay, accepted. I will submit my code. Oh, so it's timer limit exceeded. Okay, so let me try to array return in line 60. Oh, it doesn't work. Okay, so I have to think of the optimization. So currently the time complexity is the outer loop is takes O of n, and for the inner loop, I iterate all the wages, so it should be O of n. Yeah. So it's O of n squared. And for also in line 53, I do the operation on the heap, we should take O of k. No, sorry, log k, according to the heap size. So in total, it should be n squared k. Okay,